Dankeschön and gracias and many thanks for joining us for today's Thanksgiving edition of Über Cinco. I'm your host, Nathan Henfent, and I'm thankful for the chance to wag my chin at you every Monday here on the podcast game show where we deep dive top fives. And I'm so thankful to be joined by today's contestants, Mitch Brinkman and Brian Ernst, who will reveal and defend their top 5 things to be thankful for in 2021. Hello, gentlemen. How are you?
Doing fantastic.
Wonderful. I'm going to be a dick out of the gate, Nathan. I'm just going to say I heard that slight hiccup. You were like, Mitch Brinkman. I'm like, is he reading my name or does he remember my name? I don't know what it is, but please give me a lot of points today. So thank you very much.
I'm sorry, Mark. It won't happen again.
Okay. Hey.
With the formalities out of the way, let's get everyone up to speed with a quick rundown of the rules.
Each player in the den has spent time with today's topic arranging their top 5 answers in order of importance. Those answers have been submitted to the host who will moderate the game, awarding points to the player with the most poignant answer.
Starting with their number 5 choice, we will move up the ranks until we reach each of their top answers. But if both contestants happen to have the same answer on their list, well, we have an Uber stare-down.
You will hear the official Über Cinco siren, and both players must reveal their answer and what number they ranked their submission. An Uber stare-down is all or nothing, with one player earning 3 points. After all answers have been read, the host will reveal the final score.
And as host, I am entitled to institute a house rule. Don't come back for seconds.
Okay. What? Huh.
This one's for Mitch.
Don't come back for seconds.
What does that mean?
Just don't come back for seconds.
Okay.
Don't come back for seconds.
Okay.
All right. And Mitch, you won the pre-show turkey pardon off, so we'll start with you. Yes, you pardoned the most turkeys.
Oh, I love that.
What was your number 5? Your number 5 thing to be thankful for? What the hell is it?
Right now, I'm thankful for the X-ray kill shot vision in this video game called Sniper Elite 4.
Our graphics department, a.k.a. Brian, was a little behind there. But yes, this is an Uber stare-down. Mitch, you went with a video game-related gratitude. Yep. And Brian, what was your number 2, Brian?
My number 2 is I was thankful for Sony's manufacturing process and the... we'll talk about it more in detail in a second.
Okay, so it's something to do with a PlayStation.
Correct.
We assume.
Yes.
All right. Mitch, please elaborate, expand, and expound upon your number 5.
So Brian's is a macro video game thing. Mine is a micro video game thing because it's... So this game, Sniper Elite 4, you are an American sniper. You know, one of those guys who's like, hey, I'm going to go and like get inside that Nazi base and like give them hell, you know? And it's actually a very fun game. You sneak around, you can throw rocks to get people's attention, you know, and then the bad guy's like, huh? I heard something. I'm going to go check it out. And, you know, and they walk right to where you've thrown the rock and like you're there waiting in a bush and then you come up behind and give him a good old little stabby stab in the neck with a knife and then take him down.
You know,
silently.
like a sniper.
Yeah. But so you sneak around, but then so also like use binoculars to like clock all your targets first. You know how far away they are. And then you take out your sniper rifle. And during a headshot or a lung shot or a heart shot or a liver shot, or if you shoot the grenade in their belt, it goes like cinematic. So and it follows the bullet going through the air and then close up vision as the bullet strikes the Nazi in the skull. And then it goes X-ray vision and you see their brain like undulate and explode and guts go everywhere. And it's like,
oh, that sounds satisfying.
When you first see it, it's shocking. But then you're like, oh my God. But they're all Nazis and all the Nazis can get fucking killed. You know, it's like everyone hates Nazis. No one likes Nazis. They're still the best bad guy ever in cinema and media, whatever it is. They're always bad.
Life.
Yeah, life, just all the time. And so, like, sometimes because you can skip through the cutscenes, but sometimes, like, when you're just, like, you've been sitting on a ledge and you've been waiting for, like, a minute and a half for this guard to walk back into vision, and then he's right there, and all you got is a liver shot, and then you... And then X-ray vision, lower body, liver, exploded, yellow bile goes all over their body. So if that didn't kill him, the infection will. But again, they're Nazis, so good riddance. So yeah, I've been playing that recently, and it's a fun game because you can do a level in like 10 minutes, or you can really take your time and do it in like 2.5 hours. You know, you're just like sitting there reading the wind and adjusting your sights and line up that perfect shot. So,
nothing is as fun and exciting as being still and patient and paying attention. That's my idea of a video game.
And at the end, you get to kill a Nazi. So yeah, it's pretty great. It's like it's the closest thing to being in Inglourious Bastards, you know, where like just bashing Nazis, killing them with guns, knives, shotguns, grenades, all that good stuff. So
weapons, yes, any weapon
weapons.
you have. Near
Yep, military weapons. So
we all hate Nazis.
Yep.
We love killing Nazis.
Yep.
I think we can appreciate
Yep.
that. But so Brian, how can you possibly top getting rid of the Nazi scourge on our planet?
I can't. But what I can do is still be thankful for Sony's manufacturing process, because the longer they delay the availability of the PS5, the longer I save $500. So Sony is looking out for my financial future, and I'm thankful for it, because we're almost a year into this thing, and you still cannot get a PS5. So this is where we're at right now.
Well, I'm waiting too, because as has been historically documented on this show, I was relieved of my PS4 by burglars in 2018.
Yes.
And I have been video gameless for now about 3 years. And I want a PS5 too, and they cost, I believe last time I looked, it was $34,000. So what is going on, Brian? Please enlighten me.
They still keep blaming it on a chip shortage. And when we're in a chipless existence, I don't know what's going to happen.
It's so clear. All of the chips have been going into the vaccines. It's so obvious.
Oh my God.
Are you paying attention yet? Wake up, you sheeple.
I read a
That is
story.
my favorite. Go ahead.
I read a story on Newsmax that actually the Tostitos Corporation has been putting tracking chips into their tortilla chips as well. So don't buy Tostitos, okay? I've been on that ban for a while.
They're probably in cahoots with Sony. That makes the perfect sense.
Mm-hmm.
But either way, whatever the reason is why we don't have said chips, is like, why would you even release? I mean, they're going against, obviously, whatever the new Xbox is. So people are just trying to get a hold of it, and I would really like to try one. I haven't even seen one in person. They don't have any demos in the stores. They don't have anything. So it's like, could you imagine if they had a demo in the store, but they weren't selling you one? Somebody would rob a Best Buy so fast.
Yeah.
But no matter what is happening, it has never happened in our age of existence or in the age of video games where it's like, we're releasing a new console and it won't be available to anyone. And it's like they're supposed to have a long shelf life. I mean, these consoles are out for 5 to 10 years.
So what are you thankful for here, Brian? This all sounds horrible. This is making me sad right now.
But I still have $500. And like, it's not being wasted on something that I'll then have to buy a bunch of $50 games for, and another $70 controller, and probably yearly subscription to whatever. So it's like, you know what? It's kind of nice to not have that financial burden for something that just wastes my time anyway.
So you can have 20 minutes at the roulette table instead.
Yes.
Is what you're telling me.
Yes. See, do you understand me? Do
you have that $500? Is that already set aside like in a glass box that says like break in case of PS5, or what? Like what? Where is that 500 right now?
I opened up my own online Ally banking account just to put $500 in, labeled PS5. So there we go. No, I'm just kidding. I did not. I will. I was
going to say, let me refer you. I'm an Ally customer.
I know you are.
When you want to come over to Ally, when you need someone on your side, you let me know.
No commercial for Ally. No commercial for Ally. But Mitch, you're winning the stare down because Brian, you made me sad, and Mitch, you're getting rid of Nazis. Yeah. Even in a theoretical sense, that's still a good thing. And let's move over to Brian for your number 5.
The number 5 thing I'm thankful for is a gold bond. Nothing soothes the crevices of a big wet boy like medicated powder. Here we go, gold bond. I'm talking about that menthol and zinc, nature's combination that dries up the wet spots and gets rid of the chafing. There is nothing better than prepping for a day by flouring your giblets. Gold Bond, medicated powder. Any questions?
All right. 1 point. Mitch, what's your number 4?
I was gonna say, what's the Brian Ernst is the Gold Bond as Michael Jordan is to Haynes.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Oh my!
Yeah.
This is the sponsorship I've needed.
Yes, just don't shave your mustache, Brian. Okay, keep it as is.
I'll dust it with Gold Bond as I get older. There we go.
My number 4. This is directed squarely at our host today. I am looking for 3 points. I don't mean to be upfront, but I think I'll get it. Number 4. The new NBA rules. No more can James Harden throw his arms into the defender and get a call. No more can people be dribbling up the court, stop and jump backwards into the defender and get a call. No more can you get just a light whisper of a breeze on your neck and throw your head back like you're dancing the cha-cha and get a foul. The new NBA is here.
The cha-cha.
And I love it because James Harden, who is my least favorite player ever, if you didn't already know that, his scoring is down. He looks fat and slow. He looks terrible on the court. Oh, all of a sudden he's not good anymore. It's because he's not getting the baloney padded calls. He's not getting the foul shots he normally pads all of his stats with. His PER has gone down, and the real ballers are coming out. The people who play balls out with toughness, intensity, and integrity. That's my number 4.
The new rules essentially are that if you have the ball, you cannot throw yourself into your defender and then they will be called for a foul, which was ridiculous. It was horrible. James Harden was the prime example, but he's not the only one. A lot of people followed in his footsteps.
Correct.
And I hate the idea of fogeyism in sports. Watching back when I was a kid, back in the 90s, they sent people to the floor and about toughness and all that. In this instance, however, watching James Harden play and the way that he just attempted to get foul shot, it was cheap.
Mm-hmm.
And it was cowardly, and it was if I played that way when I was in 7th grade, I feel like my dad would tell me he was disappointed in me. And James Harden has a Hall of Fame career out of it. So yes, Mitch, you are absolutely getting 3 points.
Thank you.
There's no question about it. James Harden, also my least. Well, Bill Laimbeer might be number 1. James Harden, one of my top 5 least favorite NBA players ever. So
yeah.
I got to give you the 3 points.
Thank
Brian,
you very much.
Back over to you.
Thank you very much.
I haven't recognized a name in the last 5 minutes here, so number 4. I'm going to go with 4K streaming. This is what I'm thankful for.
Oh.
Specifically from Warner Brothers. Now, I love going to the movies.
Is every single one of your things going to be a commercial for something? Come on, what is this?
Says the guy who puts an ad for everything every damn week. Shut up!
I'm trying to make money for
turn
us, all right?
off your mic.
At least Brian's a real product.
Yes. Oh.
Wow.
There we go. So, I love going to the movies, as do all of you. We love seeing movies on the big screen, but Warner Brothers' decision to simultaneously release them on HBO Max and in theaters this year has been good for one category of film, and I'm calling it my on the fencers. Ones that I was like, would I go see or wouldn't I go see? Like dramas, I really wouldn't go see in the theater if there's a big film, like Judah and the Black Messiah. Great movie. Is it something that needs to be seen in the theater? Or I can get it right here and watch it and enjoy it immediately. Fantastic movie. I don't know if I would have brought myself to the theater to see it, but I got to see it at home, blah, blah, blah. Godzilla vs. Kong. It's fine. I understand it's a big movie spectacle, but I'm not a huge monster movie guy, but I'll watch it at home. Sure, no problem.
Sure.
Space Jam: A New Legacy. Would I have put money down on that to see it in a theater? No, but I got to start it at home and turn it off after 15 minutes on my own accord.
In that 15 minutes, did you get on the McDonald's app and the Nike app and the Gatorade app and order products to your home?
I turned it off when Don Cheadle showed up as the character named Algorithm.
No.
This is when I turned this fucking thing off. Yes.
I actually kind of like that algorithm.
Well, no, it's bad. And now I'm going to talk about my biggest on the fencer, Dune.
Yeah.
Now, I've never seen the David Lynch one. I know the brief synopsis of the book. I haven't read it. So in this thing, Denis Villeneuve can shoot the hell out of a movie. Every movie he's ever touched has been beautiful. I think Arrival is one of the best sci-fi movies I've ever seen. Now, Blade Runner, we can talk about, it's okay. It's not a bad movie in any way, but it's just fine. And I finally watched Dune this week. 2.5 hours of a first act. If I would have went to the theater and saw that, I would have been a little upset. But the fact that I just got to watch it at home in my decent setup at home, it was fine. I liked it, but I'm like, this is a little much. It started to feel like, sorry, Nathan, Lord of the Rings to me, and which is fine. But at least Lord of the Rings, you knew you were getting into the setup. It was bought as a trilogy. It was filmed as a trilogy. You knew you were getting that second movie. Dune was put out there as like, maybe we'll get a sequel. So to go out there and be like, I'm going to do all of this setup and just have it end where it ends, basically as the movie is starting, it starts to feel like, I'm like, okay, I don't know if I would go to the theater and enjoy that experience. So that's why I am thankful for Warner Brothers for giving me the opportunity to see some of these that are coming out. And the one that came out this week, King Richard. I don't know if I'd go see Will Smith play the Williams sisters' dad in the theaters, but I'll sure as hell give it a shot at home. So
I should say to our listeners, though, that Brian's home theater setup is like 90% of the way to an actual movie theater. It's pretty sweet. So
with a bathroom just a stone's throw away from that couch. It is wonderful.
Yeah.
A soft stone's throw too. It's close. Yeah.
Yeah. Wait, would you be able to throw it? Never mind, Brian. You're for turning off the abomination and tampering with the classics debacle of Space Jam 2. You're going to get 3 points for that, and that's going to move us on to our number threes. And we're back over to you, Mitch.
Yeah, my number three. This list of thankfulness I made. This is kind of an encapsulation of my October, November so far, and so that's why I have that the X-ray kill vision from this video game, and that's why I have this choice here, and that is the cold air. I love the cold air. I love when it's like between 32 and 50. It's crisp. It keeps you awake when you go outside. I can bike in this weather too for miles, and then I'm done. I did it in jeans and a sweater and a jacket, and I ain't sweaty at all. So it's incredible, and I love it. And it makes sleeping incredible.
Yes,
it makes my body stay on and like awake, and it doesn't get lethargic. My body aches less too because the cold is better for keeping the inflammation down, right? Cause you get inflammation when you get older. I don't know.
And that heat.
I was going to say, whose grandma did you?
Yeah, that doesn't sound right to me. I was with you up until now.
Well, it is true. Like cold showers that helps with inflammation and swelling and whatnot, and that's why.
Yes, and it also helps prove that you are a psychopath.
Well, but it's not complete until you put ice in the tub as well and fill that up with cold water and dip in there for just.
Okay, Joe Rogan, move on. Let's go.
Just 2 to 3 hours. Do not. No. Don't call me Joe Rogan. Please don't call me Joe Rogan. If anything,
get in your ice bath, shoot up with your ivermectin, and move on to the next thing.
Wow. Okay. You know what? Why do you hate on just people trying to find ways to make themselves healthy? Like, just let people find their own path, Okay.
I'm sorry I don't take medical advice from the guy who used to make people eat elk dongs on national television. I'm sorry.
But why? Well, what's wrong with the warm air, Mitch? Why? I just love. I don't know. I just like cold air. I do. I like it's the snappiness of it. It's crispy. Yes. We live in Chicago though, and the cold air to me is just the cold air that you're talking about. That 32 to 50 degrees and the Christmas and the niceness, which fine. And like you said, sleeping in that temperature under a nice big weighted blanket, oh baby, that is the sweet spot. But for me, this is just a warning sign of what is to come in about 6 weeks when it's going to be 0 or -20. And that is not okay. That is not pleasant. Every year it's a nightmare here in Chicago in the winter. And that's what the cold air is signaling.
I'm just gonna say it, Nathan. I think you might be built of tissue paper because I like the winter.
Don't blow on him, guys.
Not everybody was born in the northernmost part of the United States.
Well, no, I know, and that's why I am thankful for this. And yes, I may sound like a psychopath, which I'm sure I do to a lot of people listening, and to you guys. You know, for those who are tuning in just now for the first time, I grew up in Minnesota, so you wear shorts until it's like below freezing. That's just what you do. You put on your winter coat and you wear basketball shorts and you go. And like actually on Friday, I saw someone on the train platform wearing shorts, and I looked at him, and I was so close to throwing up a fist, being like, "Yeah, dude," like. But and I was like, someone might get the wrong idea of like white guy to white guy being like, "Hey, you know, hey, white guys gotta stick together."
In public to each other, No.
So
you're also forgetting the best part about the crisp air. You get to leave the gold bond at home.
Oh, that's true. The gold bond stays in the
Carry
cabinet.
less.
Yeah,
it's a good part of it.
Yeah. So this is It may sound crazy to you, Nathan, but this is mine. I love the cold air. I actually do. When it gets below 0, that is uncomfortable, obviously. But even like a crisp 15 to 20 degrees, just for like 15, 20 minutes at a time, that's nice. I like it. It wakes me up.
Lovely.
So,
all right, I'll give you like a Christmas morning bonus here. Like
3 points.
I was only going to give you one point, but since it is what you are thankful for, and you're able to touch my cold bitter heart just enough. I'm going to give you 2 points.
But guess what? Your cold bitter heart, it's alive and it's being preserved well by the cold. You're welcome.
That's why I'll live forever.
Exactly. You won't ever die.
Brian, what's your number 3?
My number 3 is the opposite of cold. It is good hotel shower water pressure with unlimited hot water.
Oh my.
Oh, is there anything better than getting to a location and you know there's that moment right before you turn it on, what am I going to get? It is a roll of the dice, it is a gamble, and it's only one of 2 options. It's great or it's horrible. And you get in there, and when you feel it and it hits your arm as you're testing the water, you're like, hot damn, this is going to be a good one. And then you get in there, and that's when you stand there with your back just hitting the top of your shoulders right there, and you almost fall asleep standing up because it's like a massage. It's so good. It's so good. And you're like, guess what? I know they don't have hot water tanks here. It goes right through that little thing on the wall. That means it's unlimited. So I can just stand here for hours and waste energy and just absorb it in my skin. Oh, it's so nice.
What
then?
Have you ever stayed in a hotel that has that you got the chair, like the you can sit in the
I
shower,
almost wrote this down. A bench. If you have a bench, this takes this to another level. Then you could sit there and spin around and be like, let it hit your chest. Or kind of sit in a different position so it hits a different part of your back. And then you can't think about all the other naked men that have sat on that bench before you. You got to clear that out of your head. Clear it out. And just focus on the water pressure massage you are getting on the awesome points of your body. Now, on the other hand, when this is bad, or like say you're on a vacation and you go from good water pressure to bad water pressure, it can ruin a vacation. Which is why I am thankful for the good water pressure because, man, if I get there, it's been a long day. We were just talking about Vegas. My uncle who had to get to Vegas from northern Wisconsin had to do a 2-hour drive to Duluth, then a puddle jumper down to the Twin Cities, then a 4-hour flight to Las Vegas. Now imagine you went through all of that with a kid and luggage, and you had bad water pressure. That
That's
would
it.
not.
It's over. Game over.
How is that a good start to a vacation? That is horrid. So you got to be thankful for the good hot water pressure in that shower, because you're going to take 4 or 5 showers a day. Because why not?
What are you doing in those showers? You just clean. You're just like shampooing. And...
You can think I'm tugging away, whatever you think, but I am just sitting there relaxing away.
Okay.
It's cheaper than the spa downstairs, so let's.
It's true.
Well, I have to say, as a man who has very long hair, low water pressure, I can't live with it.
Yep.
No,
do it.
you can't.
Cannot be done. And also the image of our big wet boy Brian in all of his glory, just spinning on his tuchus in the shower with a John Williams score playing, and overhead shots just like he's a flower in bloom. I can't help but give him 3 points. So then
It's fantastic.
I was just staying at a hotel recently, and they had the overhead rain shower, which was just like, it just felt like you were being pelted by a torrential downstorm. Great. And then they had the from the wall side jets, so you could stand
That's my
there.
ultimate dream. A multi-jet shower I've never experienced. I want that so bad.
It's incredible. So so your keister gets throttled, and then your head gets soaked at the same time. It's very, very comforting. So.
I love a good keister throttle.
what hotel was this?
This is
Where did this
the
happen?
Weber's Boutique at Steve Moore's wedding.
Was it really? Oh, I guess you had a nicer room than I did.
I guess I did,
Okay.
Also, the mirror had a Bluetooth, so the mirror was also a speaker, so you could like put on music and do that shower at the same time. It was wonderful.
What the?
Yeah.
You guys don't shower together on vacation? You guys are doing it wrong.
I think we were on different planets at the hotel.
I think you had a room that hadn't been updated since like the 80s, and ours was like the newly updated one. So
yeah, we had a wash tub where it's like one of those boards.
like,
It was a stainless steel pail.
We had to carry it out and throw the water out after we were.
so this
Oh.
so this is your room. Here's the TV. It's a CRT. It's got HBO. Wow. Okay. And here's your tea kettle to heat up your bathwater. Yeah. Well, yeah. It was.
We slept on bales of hay.
Well, then you felt at home. Oh, boom, woo, burn. It's kind of, I don't know. That was bad. Sorry.
I grew up on a farm. Yes, that's true.
But you didn't, though. So
Like we mentioned in a previous episode, that bovine air kept you strong. You didn't have to drink that milk. So
That's true.
there you go.
That's true. I think we're at number 2 now. Mitch, what's your number 2?
Do I get any points or?
Yeah, I already gave you 3 points.
cool.
How many do you want?
No, I didn't even hear it. I'm sorry. I was too busy laughing at all of your anecdotes.
Oh, okay. 4 points.
Thanks.
No, you're just 3.
All right.
but my number 2 is the Minnesotan accent, and I'm putting this one on my number 2 here because I recently rewatched Fargo, the Coen brothers, absolute classic, great, really good movie. It's about a guy who he sells cars and he's trying to get some money, and I think he kidnaps a guy, but but that one guy from oh God, what movie is he from? The one guy, he's a little squirrely fella, he's from God, what is he in? He was in that one show with the gangsters on HBO. But yeah,
Boardwalk Empire.
Is that
guy?
the? Yeah. Well, no, is that right?
Yeah.
Okay. But yeah, and then also with the holidays coming up, just talking about all the pies you're gonna make, or maybe you're making cookie salad for your family, and you got mashed potatoes on the table, or there's the oven roasted turkey's pretty good, like just all those things. Hot apple cider. Oh yeah. Oh, that sounds pretty nice. Yeah, it warm you up when you come out from that blistering heat, and it's about 25 degrees out there, and you gotta just go out in your sandals and whatnot. But yeah, just getting to see family, and then you're eating oats for breakfast, and maybe have like a potato roll for lunch or something like that, and then tater tot hot dish for dinner, and you just kind of keep eating carbs all day long. It's the holidays, so
Carbs.
you got bars. Oh, lemon bars, 7-layer bars. Cookie bars. What else? Oh, rhubarb bars. You guys ever had a rhubarb bar? Yeah, so
rhubarb bars.
Rhubarb bars.
The rhubarb bars sound like an old timey folk music.
Come on down to the rhubarb
From
bar.
Minnetonka.
And then also, when you get in the family Mercury Villager and you drive around and you look at the lights, in the rich neighborhoods. Oh, that's fun too. So yeah,
That is
Minnesotan holidays, very nice.
I think I gained 10 pounds just listening to you talk about that.
Oh, I forgot my favorite, creamed corn. You ever have creamed corn? Oh,
Yeah.
I used to eat cream corn out of the can as a kid. I was a fucking weirdo.
Oh, you're a
I'd
little
crack open
ragamuffin
a
there.
cold cream corn with a spoon.
Sounds like you're from Wisconsin.
Yeah, pretty much. Sounds like it.
Is there anybody in the state of Minnesota who is older than I feel like it's just people from the ages of 0 to 10 and then 70 up.
Oh, yeah.
There's nobody,
Yeah.
there's no just adults in their prime walking the streets of Minnesota. It can't be.
Well,
This
because Minnesota's where you grow up, and then you go on and you go and do stuff someplace else, and then you come home to freeze to death at the end of it. So it's pretty nice. But
Minnesota just sounds like my grandmother's kitchen in state form.
Is your grandma's kitchen state bird also the mosquito? Because those suckers get pretty big up here. So yeah,
my grandma was pretty mean with the fly swatter. I do remember that.
Yeah.
She,
your grandma's name is Betty, right?
Grandma Betty, yes.
My grandma Betty also mean flick with the swatter there, and there's a lot of flies around, because it was a farm, so a lot of poop nearby, but a lot of flies to kill.
It was a farm.
I'll say this about my grandma Betty is that Mitch. This will horrify you.
No,
Mitch, the man who loves to make his dog home baked treats. My grandparents had a beagle named Hunter.
Mm-hmm.
He lived to be 17 years old, and Hunter's diet was they had dog food for him, but then at the end of whatever meal we were having, Grandma would just take the scraps of everything, just haphazardly, just put it in a dish and then take it out and give it to Hunter. Just the whatever, just random anything. No health checks, no FDA approval. It was just going straight to him, and he lived to be 17.
Oh, that's what I'm
just
saying.
Yeah.
That just give the dog the scraps. I mean, plus it probably tastes better than that dog food anyway.
Well, probably.
Also,
good home cooking.
Actually,
Ripstick food's the best food on this planet,
Mitch, I think I already know the answer to this, but I'm going to ask it anyway. Have you tasted the dog treats that you've made for your dog?
Well, yeah, because they're human grade. Yeah. Every time I make a batch, I give a little sample and go, "Ooh, this one's going to be a good batch," and then I give them one. But
you have. Because it's not like you're putting dog. What is dog food ingredient? It's just food.
Yeah, and the treats I make, it's pumpkin. It's you got your sweet potato, you got your carrots in there, peanut butter, maybe a little olive oil, and then water and flour, and that's just about it. So it's really pretty good. It honestly kind of tastes like a health cookie if you're going to do a health. You want to do a health cookie, but yeah.
I'm going into an existential crisis right now in my mind, trying to discern what is dog food and what's human food. So I'm going to have to move us along because my brain is melting.
Okay,
Mitch, I'm giving you 2 points just because I don't know what else to do.
Oh yeah. Well, hey, thanks very much. I appreciate it there.
So that's going to move us on to number ones. And Brian, I'd like you to go first with the number ones.
All right. My number one is a no-mix cake box topped dessert. So this is what I'm calling it. This whole realm of no-mix cake box topped desserts. These are things that you make on a tray or in a pan. They're basically your modern dump cake. All right. You get to put a layer of whatever filling you want on the bottom. Have it be peaches, a pumpkin sugar puree mix, whatever. and you dump an entire box of yellow cake mix from Betty Crocker on top. You don't mix it. You slather it in butter, and you let that baby bake. It's easy to keep the ingredients on hand. It's easy to make so you don't have to watch anything. And you have dessert for a week because it's an entire tray's worth of buttery, sugary goodness. Now, you don't know how to make peach cobbler? Well, guess what? You do now, bud, because I just gave you the entire damn recipe. You open a can of peaches, throw it on a thing. Cover it in cake mix, cover it in butter. You put it in the... That is a recipe Nathan Hennepin can do. There's no knives.
I appreciate.
There's no
appreciate your
no
confidence
vegetables,
in me.
and it's one pan. It's perfect.
that does. Yeah. Okay. All right.
I made one 2 days ago. I made one 2 days ago so I greased a tray. And I mixed a whole can of pumpkin.
Did.
Shut up. A whole can of pumpkin, 4 eggs, pumpkin pie seasoning, and a cup of sugar. And a little thing of evaporated milk. Just mixed that all together, so it was almost like a little pumpkin pie base. Put that in the bottom, covered it with the cake, melted 2 sticks of butter, covered the entire top, and then sprinkled it with pecans. Boom! It was a delicious fall dessert that Jenny and I eat out of the tray on the couch. We don't even put it in dishes. We just take the dish, the whole fucking tray, you leave a spoon in it, and pass it back and forth. This is the kind of dessert that you need.
That's actually seems quite sweet.
It is very nice.
Yeah.
It's what's funny is I made it in a disposable aluminum one this time instead of the glass one. So I'm like, I don't want no mess. I'm just throwing this whole thing away when we're done. But sometimes when the cake layer is obviously a lot thicker than the pumpkin layer, so you're sitting there jamming it with a spoon. And sometimes you miss, and you hit the aluminum, and it puts a hole in the aluminum. And you're like, damn it! Now I got to rearrange this a little bit. But the buttery cakeness and a little bit of that pumpkin together, so good.
And you're confident that even Nathan Hennepin could get the Hollywood handshake on one of these things.
This is what, I think you could do this. I'm recommending the peach one for you, or any fruit in a can that you like, because that's all you need. 1 can of fruit, box of cake mix, and butter. That's all you need, and you just put it all together, man. It is so good, you will love it.
All right, I'm going to challenge myself. I'm going to call myself out. I'm going to challenge myself to actually do this and report back on the next episode.
Oh my God, you're gonna! I cannot wait for that review. And the best part is, it's great hot right out of the oven. It's even better cold after you've left it in the fridge, because then you can just kind of go to the fridge and steal a little nibble. Go to the fridge, nibbles, and that's what you can get from this little treat. So.
The old Christmas Eve midnight fridge nibble.
Yeah.
Or the old November 19th nibble, like I did yesterday. So you can do that too.
Is there any better conversation when you go down to the kitchen in the middle of the night and someone's already there and they're doing the same thing as you, and you're like, hi, are you going for the nibble? And they're like, I've already nibbled, and then you're like, let's keep this between you and I. And then you both, that person goes back up to bed, and then you take their place and just do a little, yeah.
That's a moment though. If you're if it's a holiday and a lot of people are staying in the same house and that happens, this has happened to me a couple times, and you do the midnight run or the 2 a.m. run or whatever, and you run into somebody else there. It's, a holiday with all the big commotion and whatnot. Everybody's talking to everybody. You find yourself in the room alone with somebody, and you end up being there for an hour and a half.
Yeah.
Because it's the only chance you actually get to have a one-on-one conversation, and it ends up being all night. This has nothing to do with
and your big
today's
families,
list,
guys.
Yeah. One day, Brian, somebody will talk to you for an hour and a half as well.
And
that's not me and Mitch, who are contractually obligated to once a week.
I'm waiting on the day. Day, folks.
Yep.
Anyways, Mitch, it's time for your number one. Let us have
my
it.
number one. You guys don't know him, and I didn't know him until very recently. But my number one thing I'm thankful for is Doug Thompson. Are you guys curious?
Yeah.
I have one question.
Yeah.
Who the fuck is Doug Thompson?
Okay, Doug Thompson. On Thursday night, I ordered pizza from Pat's Pizzeria on Lincoln, in Lincoln Park. Wonderful pizza, tavern style, very cracker thin crust. Great pizza. It's getting delivered. And it's about like 5 minutes before the pizza gets there, I get a phone call. And you know how when you get phone calls now, it's either people are your contacts or it's just like a random number. This had caller ID, so it actually said Douglas Thompson. And I was like, what? Like, I never get a call where I actually see what the person's name is. I was like, all right, I got to answer this. Hello, this is Mitch. Hey, Mitch, how's it going? This is Tommy, the delivery driver from Pat's Pizzeria. How you doing, buddy? I was like, oh, good. He's like, good. I'm just on my way here to your house. And I was thinking recently, last week, I delivered a pizza to Guthrie's bar right there by, and I know Guthrie's is close to your house because I know Guthrie's 1300 West Addison. But so I was at Guthrie's, I was delivering to a customer, and you know, when customers deliver from us, they're part of the family. I've been working for the family here for a couple decades now. But so I'm delivering to this customer, and I bring him a great pizza, and then also I get the twofer, the daily double. And I was like, what? And he's like, I found out I love this customer, and Guthrie's is open again. Did you know Guthrie's is open again? And I was like, yeah, it's right there. He's like, yeah. And what I did is I refused the tip. I was like, no. You guys are family. I'm not taking a tip from you. I wouldn't do that. I would never do that. But so, you know, okay, now I'm dribbling on. I'm right. I'm trying to like, no. He's like, okay, yeah. So I'm surprised I've never talked to you before because you've ordered from Pat's before, right? Have you? And I was like, yeah. And he's like, okay, that's weird. Yeah. Cause I know everyone in our family. So I don't know why I don't know you yet. And I was like, I don't know, Tommy. He's like, okay, well now I'm at Racine and Addison, so I'm getting kind of close to your house here. I should be there in a couple minutes. And I was like, okay. And he's like, but you know what? Working for Pat's Pizza has just been great because, you know, yeah, sure, I'm older and people think like, oh, maybe I shouldn't still be delivering pizzas, but I get to talk to so many people. And, you know, of course, there are some jerks. Of course, there are some jerks, you know, some drunk people that aren't good. But you're part of the Pat's family. When you order pizza from Pat's, you know, you become part of the family. I said, okay, now I'm about a block here. I'm thinking about parking across the street from your apartment building. So I'll have to cross the street to get to you. Is that okay with you? And I was like, sure. Yeah, that's fine. He was like, yeah. So, and you know, also I love Lakeview. Lakeview is just such a great neighborhood. There's so many good Pat's customers that live in Lakeview too. Okay. All right. Oh, I'm just about to pull in here. Oh, I found a spot. Mitch, I found a spot. I think it's across the street from your building, or maybe one building down. And I was like, okay. And he's like, all right, well, yeah. So I should be to your front door in about 2 to 3 minutes. But also, I just want to let you know, I do like kids, but I don't like kids that try and yell at me. And I do love little pooches, but I don't like dogs that bark, and even worse, the dogs that bite. So your dog doesn't bite, right? And I was like, no, he doesn't. He won't be there. And he's like, also, the other thing I don't like, doorbells that are broken or ones that don't exist. So you have one, right? And I was like, yep, it's the buzzer, 2B. As I put, he's like, great, I'll be pressing 2B, the buzzer, because I don't like a broken doorbell. And I was like, okay, Tommy. And I was like, all right, I'll see you down there. And I hang up the phone, and my girlfriend is there, and we have 2 other friends over, and they're just all staring at me, gobs touching the floor. And they're like, was that the delivery driver? I was like, yeah, we're part of the family now. That's Tommy. And so I'm like, I'm going to go down and get the pizza. I run down to the front door, and I'm waiting, and he's like approaching the front door. I open up the door, and he comes walking right in, and he looks up, he goes, there's my guy. And comes in, pizza bag. So we got a pizza and onion rings. He sets on the onion rings. He sets on the pizza bag. He opens the pizza bag, and Pat's Pizza comes in a bag. Actually, it's like a right. It's like the pizza's on the round. They put it in a bag. They seal it shut. So they have to have like a cardboard box that protects it. But on top of the cardboard box, it's not a smiley face that someone has drawn, but just a simple face with just a completely neutral mouth. And I'm like, what's with the neutral face? And he looks down and he goes, you know, you never know if people are going to be happy or sad. So I figured, let's just play it in the middle. It's like, okay. And then he takes the pizza out. And like, imagine a guy too who's wearing a leather, like a leather jacket he bought in 1981 to emulate Indiana Jones, and it's still the same coat. Like it's just faded, and it's just soft as like cotton. Like that's how old it is. And the guy has like voluminous gray hair, and he blow dries it right at the part, so it's just like a big spritz right in front, like, you know. And also he smoked probably 2 packs a day. He's just a skinny, leathery old guy. Tommy. And so he takes the pizza and he goes, now, I like to protect my customers. I like to do right by them. So I want to tell you right now, either you put the pizza on top of the onion rings here, if you're going to carry them up, but don't put the onion rings on top of the pizza. It will crush the pizza, okay? I want to protect your pizza because I saw your pie when it came out. It was a beautiful pie. And I was like, okay, got it. Thank you. I was like, I can figure out how to carry 2 things upstairs. I got it. And I think at that point, he could sense in me being like, all right, dude, what the fuck? And he goes, well, you know what? You call Pat's, and when you get me, it's like Forrest Gump. You know, it's a box of chocolates. You never know who you're going to get, right? And I was like, yeah, great. And then he picks up the receipt and holds it. He goes, now, I see you already tipped. You put the tip on there, and there's nothing I can do about that. So normally I would say, no, thank you. I'd give the money back because you're part of the family now. I'm like, okay, thanks. Why don't you take tips? That's like, how do you make money as a delivery driver? And then he like stops on his way out. First, he tried to open the second door for me, which was very nice, but it was locked. And I was like, oh, I'm gonna have to unlock that. He's like, oh, well, okay. He turns and he walks out. Just before he leaves, he stops. He turns around and he goes, you have a wonderful evening and enjoy the pie. And then away into the night he goes. And
oh my
Tommy,
God.
man. Tommy. Yeah. And so I saved his number on my phone, so I have him as a contact now. So when Tommy calls next time when I order Pat's, I'm gonna have something ready to say at him. Because like throughout the conversation on the phone too, like 3 different times, he's like, I'm driveling. I'm just driveling on, aren't I? I'm driveling on it. And I was like, no, keep talking. That's fine. So I'm thankful for Tommy, the pizza delivery guy from Pat's Pizzeria.
God,
Wow.
I know what I'm doing for dinner tonight.
Yeah. Yeah.
I the whole time
I'm literally looking up their location right now.
the whole time
Yeah.
you're going on, I'm wondering like, I would have had a hard time in my head deciding whether do I just hang up on this guy and risk having my pie spat on, or do I really just engage fully? I wouldn't know what to do. It's 50-50.
Yeah. And like, I didn't really have to do much engaging because he would every now and again, he'd be like, I'm just going on, aren't I? I'd just go, no. And then he'd just keep talking. And yeah. So.
Oh, that
was
is amazing.
It was wonderful. Yeah. It's right by Rose's Tavern, in Lincoln Park there. So.
Right. Right. By Schubert.
Yes, by Schubert.
Lincoln and Schubert.
But the
Yeah.
bottom of
Oh
their
my
pies,
God.
it's like a snap to the crust. It's really, really good. So.
I don't care what it tastes like. I'm still going to order from them. I got to meet this guy.
Yeah. So hope to God
I
that
have
he's
gotta meet this
working
guy.
tonight and he delivers to you. So.
Oh, man. Well, I mean, Mitch, that was
What
an epic, wonderful
what a
journey.
ride.
I was on the edge of my seat the whole
Yes.
time. I wanted to know what happened next. That was beautifully told.
Thank you.
It was, you know, people say like you hear a story and you're like, oh, I wish that was true. I actually kind of wish you had made that up because it's so fantastical.
Stranger than fiction, man.
I am normally ready to like, give something back to someone or like bid along with them, but like I was so taken aback. I just was like, okay, yeah.
And that's saying something. Someone to catch Mitch not on his toes, that's impressive.
Yeah. So and like
Go
I don't know, like,
Tommy.
I wanted to ask Tommy, like, do you have someone in your life? Or like, do you need a beer buddy? Like I'll have a beer with you, so.
Oh, well, I don't think we've heard the last of Tommy.
No.
I'm gonna be 50 pounds heavier by the end of December after I order Pat's Pizza every night until I get this
What if
guy.
Tommy knows how to play poker? Oh
Oh,
boy.
he'd be great at the table.
Oh.
He would just talk constantly. People would just like fine, I'll tell you what I have. Just stop talking.
Nathan orders a pizza just to have a poker buddy.
This is the perfect. Actually, he looks like Richard Belzer, but without glasses. Like imagine no glasses, Richard Belzer. Like that kind of build and hair and that kind of thing. So
Oddly specific. I like it.
yeah. So there it is.
Oh man, I gotta
Wow,
meet him. Well,
amazing.
this is an easy, obvious 3 points, Mitch, on that round.
Thank you.
Brian, I gave you 2 points. I might retroactively give you another point if my bake turns out to not have a soggy bottom when I do it. So time will tell. But it won't make a difference because the final score is Mitch 13, Brian 9. Mitch, you're the big winner today.
Woo!
Congratulations
Thank
to
you so much. I had fun today. Thanks, guys.
And yeah, this was a heartwarming rendition of Über Cinco, and it now must be closed off with my Fast Five, which I failed to tease at the top of the show. So, anybody who's still here, thanks a lot. And my Fast Five, the top 5 insincere thank yous of all time. Number 5, thanks in advance. That's right, you're going to do whatever I say. I own you. Gross.
Oh, I've used that.
Number 4, thanks a ton. A ton of what? Be more specific. Number 3, oh, thank God. The Almighty had no part in helping you catch that bowl of cranberry sauce from falling off the counter. It's a little grandiose. Number 2, thanks, but no thanks. You can just say no thanks, you tease. And number 1, I can't thank you enough. Yes, you can. Believe in yourself. And that's this week's edition of Über Cinco. I've been thankful to be joined by the king of the Upper Midwest Gourmet Dog Treat Market,
Mitch Brinkman.
and the man who is up a world record $40 at roulette.
Brian Ernst.
I'm Nathan Henenfent, and as ZZ Top once said, you didn't have to love me, but you did, but you did, but you did. And I thank you. Auf Wiedersehen and adios.
You've just listened to Über Cinco, a production of UBK Studios. Subscribe to the show on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, or wherever you get your fine podcasts from.
If you like what you hear and want to support the show, please visit our Patreon site at patreon.com/UBKstudios. Every little bit helps us keep the lights on and the bill collectors at bay.
Keep tabs on us on all the social media at UBK Studios, and most importantly, subscribe to our YouTube channel so you can see that we really are just a bunch of good Midwestern boys.